Okay, number 10. Number 10 has a new word in it. Don't talk. They show us a graph. It says that the derivative of f is given. Look up. You've got to read slow. Like, look, for 20 years, here's what's happened. Like, I emphasize super heavily in class. Like, you've got to be focused. You've got to read slow. You can't go quickly. You've got to do what I talked to Kate about. You've got to make sense of the idea, not what I do. Like, what I do is not going to help you. You've got to make sure you're understanding what I'm talking about. Like, what does it mean? Because when you take this test, which is 80% of your term 1 grade, what usually happens is, to be fair, about 2/3 of you have kind of picked up on that idea, and you score really well. And then the other third are like, I thought I knew what I was doing. Why is my score so bad? And it's because you just didn't quite understand what I mean when I say you have to understand the meaning. But that's why this class has great value. Because when you get to college, you have to know the meaning. It doesn't matter what you're studying. They will not let you simply memorize and regurgitate, because it is a waste of time. With artificial intelligence, robotics, anybody can do that. Like, machines can do it so much faster than you can do it. Like, you've got to find value in this world, like as an employee of something or as your own business, by doing something that a machine can't. Okay? So you have to learn to think, not just repeat. So anyway, look. Derivative of f is given. So right there I stop reading. Okay, stop. Let's don't make a mistake here. They just said they gave me the derivative. That means they didn't give me f. It said something funny. They didn't give me f. They gave me f prime. Y'all with me? Okay. The equation doesn't matter. So I don't even read the equation, because they gave me the graph. I'm like, oh, they gave me the graph. What do I care about the equation? It says that which of the following values does f? Don't go too fast. We're looking for when f has what's known as a relative max. Okay? F has a relative max. If you look at your reference sheet, your pink sheet, there's a definition. It says, any function, so anything, f prime, f delta prime, any function can have a relative max when that function changes increase to decrease. So I want everyone to raise their hand and answer this. Will this definition, all by itself without anything else, can I answer question 10 using just the yellow portion of the definition? So we'll highlight it again. Can I answer question 10 using just this yellow? That's hard to read. Let's don't do that. I'm looking. Can you answer question 10 using just those yellow words? Yes or no, why or why not? Hands up. This is what I mean by, do you understand what we're talking about? You're not just waiting to copy me. You're waiting to copy me. You're preparing yourself for a job that will not exist. Or it'll be really, really menial. Like just pure labor, no thinking at all. Can I answer this question with just this yellow definition? Let's go, Emmy.
I would say yes, because
Go ahead.
function has a change. Like if you read that, that follows along with the function of the line on that graph.
Perfect. So if you were using this yellow, 2 more for Emmy, and it said to identify, like, what would you say the answer is, Emmy, based on that?
Would it be B?
So you go here. Okay, raise your hand, please, if you're in agreement with Emmy. Show me. Show me hands. Show me hands. So about half of you. All of you get 2 points, okay? But you're actually stepping in the trap that they're setting for you. It's okay. That's why we learn, right? It's no big deal, okay? Like half of you missed it. It's a superb example of what AP is trying to test you on. Is like, do you really understand the idea? So you all stepped in the trap. B is not the correct answer. Let me say it back to you. B is where f prime has a relative max. That did help. Because that's f prime. Now look, that's where f prime is changing from increase to decrease, for sure. F prime is changing from increase to decrease right there. Any function, now any function could be F prime, and if that function changes increase to decrease, that function has a relative max. That's F prime, for sure. But why is that the wrong answer? Hands up. Everybody knows. Yeah, good job. Okay, keep your hands up. I love the fact that several people who missed the first one, no hesitation. Like, I get it now. Their hands right back up again. I guarantee you, the more you interact with me, the better you'll score on May 11th. You will score better. Like, not interacting with me, I've seen people do well, but it's hard. Like, you got to learn to interact with me. Let's go, Lincoln.
It's asking if F has a relative max, not F prime.
Perfect. 2 points if you knew that. They want to know, where does F have a relative max? But we are not looking at F. So the yellow definition actually is not sufficient on its own. I need Danica's chart as well. So F, I'm looking for a relative max on F. That's going to happen when F changes increase to decrease. So I need to know where F changes increase to decrease. Well, Danica's chart tells me. F changes increase to decrease in exactly the same x-coordinate where F prime will change from positive y values to negative y values. That's because F prime is the slope of F. So let me draw a picture. Look, if F is going up, if F's going up, if this is F, and F is going up, that means the slopes of F will all be positive. And then if F starts going down, the slopes of F will all be negative. That's not F double prime. Hold on. Fix that. So here's F. If F is going up, the slopes of F are positive. If F switches and starts going down, now the slopes of F are negative. This would be a relative max of F. Look on the board. The word of. I need somebody to donate a sign I can put on the wall. That's why that's there. But you got to keep track of, what are you talking about? We're talking about F. We want to know when F has a relative max. F has a relative max when F changes increase to decrease. But you're not looking at F. You're looking at F prime. So you have to think, oh, wait a minute. It means I got to go see where the slopes of F change from positive to negative. I can see that quite easily because I'm looking at a graph of F prime, which shows me the slopes of F. So try again. Who knows the answer now? Hands up. What is the, B was the incorrect answer. That was the trap. This is why the test can fool you. Keep your hands up. I have seen people hand in the test confident they have done well until I hand it back. And they are shocked at how many traps they stepped into. So hands up. What's the correct answer? Here we go. This is looking pretty good. Trying to get somebody new. I haven't called in yet. Let's go Ramsey.
C.
So Ramsey votes C. Let's come up here and check it. So right here, the values of F prime are changing from positive values to negative values. That means that at that x-coordinate, that would have been right here on F, where F changed from positive values of slope to negative values of slope. That is the correct answer. How many knew? 2 more. Okay. Please.
Would it also be E2? That's also where I hit 0?
Oh, awesome. Don't memorize that, Hugh. That can lead to mistakes. But you did point out something I want to emphasize. 2 more for Hugh. Okay, hands up, everyone. How is F prime changing right there? Hands up. How is F prime changing right there? There we go. Hands up, everybody. How is F prime changing? Right there. Should I get something to go, Audrey?
It's just still positive, right?
Oh, careful. I could be wrong, Audrey, but I think what you're doing is this. The slope of it, remember, this is F prime we're looking at. The slope here of F prime is positive. The slope of F prime is still positive. Slope of F prime is still positive for sure. But, so F prime slope is always positive there, but something about F prime changes right at this x-coordinate. Hands up. What about, the slope doesn't change on F prime. But what does change on F prime at that moment? Hands, come on. Paisley.
Is it the x goes from a negative to a positive?
The Y value.
Y.
No worries. At this moment, the Y values are negative. Now the Y values are positive. How many new? 2 more. That means this. F of x has a relative, that's not prime, shoot, come on. F of x has, so F of x has a relative min. In fact, I need to type this. 1 second. I gotta type, oh, 1 second, Lucas, sorry, I just gotta type this real quick. So look. Back to Kate's comment about, what do we do on the test? I can guarantee you, the test has approximately somewhere between 5 and 7 questions that are all about relative max, relative min, or what's known as relative extrema. Relative extrema is just relative min or relative max. That's the words they'll use. They might also use the word local min or local max. Same thing, okay? So 5 to 7 questions, and what we're discussing is all you need. Like once you understand the definition, there are 7 questions that are super easy. You won't have to write anything down, you'll just look at it and know once you understand the definition. But here's what I wanted to emphasize with you. Let's type this so it's easier to read. Come on, text is that one. And a big. Let's go smaller. Here. That's about right. Okay, F of x has a relative min at x equal, E is that 3.73 thing? Yeah. Thank you, Audrey. Very helpful. Let's roll this over. It's relative min at that point because F prime of x changes negative to positive at x equal 3.73. So Hugh is looking at a place that's important to notice because that's where F would have a relative min. Let's get this where I can see it better. 1 second. We go to Lizzie and then Audrey. Let me get back to the board. Go ahead, Lizzie.
So for the max, and it's
So just start. So hey, look. You have to say relative max.
Relative.
You're good because later we'll talk about max, which is different.
so with relative max and
Of
F, it's from increasing to decreasing.
it's where F prime changes.
Yeah. And
Oh, sorry, I said that. I'm cutting you off too many times. I want to make sure you say it right. So F has relative max where F changes increase to decrease.
changes from increasing to decreasing, and that's when prime is going from positive to negative, and then the mid, it's just the switch of like the words, like the what word comes first is the important part of it.
That is accurate. That is accurate. Let me say it back to you. Look, it's on your reference sheet. Once you understand, the reference sheet is very helpful. Like trying to use the reference sheet without understanding, the bell's gonna ring. Stay with me for just a second. Not so helpful. What you said is accurate. Relative min and relative max are just opposites. So on the reference sheet, I don't even think I mentioned relative one to the other. I just did one of them, because the other is just the opposite. Okay, good job, you guys. Like I said, you can work on the blue, but